How's it going, everyone? Ramon here on More in Your Pocket, and today I'm just doing a quick video on tips on how to get pre-approved when buying a new home here in 2022. Let's get into it. Getting pre-approved isn't as easy as you might think. A wise person once told me that not all lenders are created equal. Considering how the market is shifting and changing every single day, it's more important than ever to make sure that you speak to a knowledgeable mortgage professional who will take the time and make sure your pre-approval is done in the best possible way. So when you're going to get pre-approved, you really want to make sure that you're speaking to someone who is knowledgeable about the mortgage industry, as well as someone who will take the time, effort, and energy to make sure that your loan is done as accurately as possible. Now, this is extremely important to know before you start shopping for homes or start submitting offers on listings. So far too often I come across folks who tell me, oh, hey, I've been pre-approved with XYZ mortgage. And I'll ask them, what did you provide them? Well, I talked to them over the phone and I gave them some information so they could run my credit. And I'll ask them, did you provide them with any documents? Well, I give them one pay stub and then they told me that I'm approved to buy a home for $500,000. What about your W-2s for the past 2 years? No, they didn't ask me for that. Well, did they do a verification of employment? Did they get a breakdown from your employer on how much base income you earn compared to overtime or bonuses? No, none of that, but they said I'm good to go. So what happens in this situation, and we'll call it what it is, it's a half-assed pre-approval. Congrats, you get your offer accepted, you're 3 weeks into escrow, you've already paid for an appraisal, your husband or wife is super stoked about how they're gonna remodel the kitchen and what kind of furniture they're gonna buy. And then what ends up happening is you find out that you don't qualify.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The reason this happens is that when it comes to qualification, every mortgage professional in this industry has to qualify everyone within certain guidelines. Now, there's a ton of reasons why someone's loan wouldn't qualify anymore. For example, someone's base pay could have changed, or they're no longer earning overtime or commissions, or maybe they just started earning overtime this year, but they weren't getting it last year. And in a lot of instances, that kind of income, whether it's overtime or bonuses or commission, have to be earned for usually 24 months before it can be used to qualify to buy a home. So whatever the case may be, things, if not properly researched and vetted, can happen that will disqualify someone from buying a home. So what you want to do, and this is in 2022, and honestly, this will work forever, so keep this in mind. Talk to somebody who's really gonna take the time to make sure they pre-approve you correctly. And when I'm talking about a verification of employment, what good lenders do is they'll send out a verification of employment to your employer, and your employer will fill this form out and let us know what you made for each year, starting from this year to date, last year, and the year before. And they're gonna break it down to us by base pay, commissions, bonuses, and whatever other kind of income that you earn. Now, the mortgage lender that you speak to should have this verification of employment on file when they're calculating your income, because that is exactly how an underwriter will look at your income. By taking this small step, you can make sure that when you put an offer in on a home, you will successfully close that escrow and move into that home. Now, when mortgage professionals guess on what your income is, and unfortunately this happens more times than it should, that loan officer ends up hanging you out to dry, whether it's intentional or not. Yeah, so last year he made $71,000 and the year before he made $80,000. Pay stub says he makes something like $7,000 a month. We'll go with that. And that irresponsible loan officer will do a calculation in his head and say, oh, he makes about $7,000 a month and $700 in debt. Bing, and yes, you qualify for $500,000. Now, that is not a proper pre-approval. A proper pre-approval is getting everything in, pulling that credit, analyzing that income from the verification of employment, analyzing your assets like your bank statements, making sure that all of your money is usable for your down payment or your closing costs. Running the desktop underwriter, which is an automated system that we in the mortgage industry use to get a basic idea of what you qualify for. On top of all of this, which really should be done on every file, I see plenty of mortgage professionals who are desperate to get new business and who will tell any buyer what they want to hear just to earn the chance at doing their loan. This is not the way to do business. You are going to be making the largest transaction of your life, and you need to make sure that you're taking the time and your loan officer and your real estate agent are all working together and making sure that everything is done as it should be. So that's my advice. Take the time and make sure that you're talking to professionals who take your life as seriously as you take your life. When you're talking to a loan officer or mortgage professional and they say you're pre-approved, you make sure to ask them, hey, did you run a verification of employment? Are my assets good to use for my down payment and my closing costs? And also, when a loan officer asks for your documentation, supply it as soon as you can. It's for your own good. So you have that peace of mind. So when you put an offer in on a home, you can comfortably know that, hey, my loan is approved and this home will be mine if my offer is accepted. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below if you have any advice for any new home buyers or if you have any questions about this video or mortgages in general. Thank you guys again. Take care.